What's going on, everybody? Duenkel Productions is back. It's me, Jake Mueller, followed with Brett Duenkel, of course. Got some pretty cool news of the NFL that we're going to have to talk about a little bit. But before I get into that, every single Monday night, got a special event. Carthage head coach, Haas, and of course, we're going to have some of the boys from the team coming on, talking a little about football, college football, some Carthage football. Of course, Dunkmeister is the manager there. So we're going to have some of the captains on there. We're going to have some offense, some defense, some special teams because punters are people too, of course. You can't forget about the punters and kickers, of course. Shout out to the boys.
For the brand.
Can't forget about it, right? So we're going to have that. Some pretty big news right there itself. So every Monday, all right, we're going to have the boys on, all right? Shout out to Carthage football team. The Firebirds, they're lit. They're amazing. Love them all. But let's get right into the news, man. You know, this one was kind of a little bit of a shocker to everyone, Dunkel. Whoa. Where's my manners? First off, Dunkel, how are you doing? Where's my manners?
Jake, I'm doing great, man. Happy to have you back on the podcast, man. Second time in like less than a week. It is good to have you back, man. And like you said, bro, Carthage football every Monday night, 7 p.m. We are fired up about it, Jake. We are fired up about it, and can't wait to get started with it on Monday. Coach Haas is hyped about it. We're hyped about it. Should be a good time. Should be a lot of fun. The Sunday show also is returning soon as well, and we're hyped about that. September 12th, 9:30 a.m. Be there, be square. But Jake, what do we got cooking in the NFL today?
No more. Superman's no more, baby. We got Mac Attack, Mac Jones, Mac Daddy. He's going to take the starting spot in New England. And not only that, the Patriots said off with his head, bye to Cam Newton, respectfully, of course. So Cam Newton, he's out. He's out of the Patriots nation, baby. So now it's going to be all Mac. And I don't know if you heard about it today, but like their last practice when they went 11-on-11, Mac Jones was slinging the rock and he's talking some shit too, man. So he's now got the confidence. He's got the abilities. He's got the greatest head coach behind him. He had a great coach in college, obviously. So, Mac's got the coaching like no one's business. But, yeah, Cam Newton, he's out. I was rooting for him. I thought, okay, that's a perfect place for him to go, because he could learn to pass the ball a little bit better. They've got a great system. You got Bill Belichick. You got all these players, right? You got all these players returning from COVID. It's going to be a beautiful mesh. I mean, my ass was earlier saying, man, this is a Super Bowl. This is a Super Bowl favorite team. If they can click it together, they got the talent, they got the coaching, they got an unbelievable quarterback who's like dual, right? He's a dual threat quarterback. Just wasn't clicking, man. Sometimes, you got to have a little bit more in the head. Sometimes, it's different. Cam Newton did start three of the preseason games, of course, as we know. That doesn't mean all, though. That doesn't mean all, obviously. But, Mac Jones, he was definitely balling out real good. Even if, he played against some first string, some second string, sprinkled in there. So he's played against it. Obviously, he played on one of the greatest offenses in college history. But we'll see how it goes. I'm a big fan of Mac Jones, going. He was the last quarterback in the first round, right? At the 15th pick. I believe so.
Yeah.
One of the last. So let him make a fool of the Bears, the Jets, the 49ers, the Jaguars. Make a fool of them. Hopefully not. But, we'll see how it goes. I hope Mac Jones does good. He can start doing good once Tom Brady's out of the league. Yeah, I think that's all right with me. How about you, Dunkel? What do you think about this news? Because that's kind of big breaking news, to be honest with you, because they said off with his head, and they didn't even give him the starting spot. So we thought he was going to wait a little longer, but I'll give the stage to you, Dunkel. What's going on through that head of yours?
So, Jake, was on the football field, doing some stuff down there at Carthage with all the boys, and notifications kept coming through my Apple Watch, and I'm looking down at it, and all of a sudden it's like Mac Jones is quarterback one, and my first thought was, oh my God, like I'm really surprised because Bill Belichick has beat up on rookie quarterbacks in his career. Mac Jones is a rookie quarterback. I figured Bill would give him a few games to get some mental reps and kind of learn the offense, get more acclimated to the speed of the game. But at the same time,
Big word.
But at the same time, you talk about Bill Belichick and Coach Nick Saban, who are two of the greatest coaches in their respective, in Nick Saban's the best college coach of all time, and Bill Belichick's probably one of the greatest NFL coaches of all time, if not the greatest. So you talk about Bill obviously has a good relationship with Coach Saban. I think that's one of the reasons he decided to draft Mac Jones. I wasn't shocked they went with Mac because everything that we've heard throughout camp, Jake, and I'm sure you've heard this too, was Mac was really impressing
Yep.
teammates, coaches, the organization as a whole. And I think Cam, once Cam was had to be out those 5 days because of a close contact,
Yep.
I think you kind of saw the writing on the wall here that this could be Mac Jones's job. And sure enough, it was. And I feel bad for Cam because
Took it.
Cam worked his butt off to get back to where he is. And to be honest with you, Jake, it sucks for him. I don't know if he'll get another job. I really
Oh,
don't.
oh.
I think it's gonna be tough because I think when you talk about a guy getting released this late, that's a quarterback. You're probably not going to start him. You're probably going to start a guy that you've been working with all camp. So it'd be a backup. Is Cam Newton really willing to be a backup for a year?
Uh-uh.
I don't know. I don't think so. We'll see. Obviously, he's been rumored to maybe go to Washington,
I was about to say
Denver,
anywhere in the
Baltimore.
East and anywhere in the NFC East, Cam Newton could start. I feel like.
I think Washington sparks a lot of people's interest because of his time with Riverboat Ron Rivera. But again, I'm not sure how that dynamic fits because they seem to be dedicated to fit Ryan Fitzmagic. And also, they got Taylor Heineke, who was really impressive last year in the playoffs as quarterback number two. So
Yeah.
will Cam Newton really fit there? I don't know. I think Mac Jones will have great success. He has a lot of talent around him. Stephon Gilmore, J.C. Jackson. They brought in guys like Matt Judon, Christian Barrymore, Nelson Aguilar. Like you talk about the additions that they made. I think that this could be a playoff team. I'm not sure if Mac is ready to take them to the next level of that Super Bowl, but I think they're for sure playoff team this year. And it'll be really interesting to see what happens with this dynamic. And it'll be interesting to see what Cam Newton, where he ends up. But guys, I want you guys to comment down below. Do you guys think Cam Newton will sign with another NFL team? I personally don't know. I'm unsure. I hope nothing but the best for Cam because, Cam's obviously been one of the better quarterbacks in this decade. I mean, Jake, when you look back to 2014, 15, 16, Cam Newton was making highlight reel plays.
Mm-hmm.
And he had the arm, he had the physicalness, he had he could run through you, he could run over you, he could run by you. And it sucks for Cam, but at the same time, I think this is a good move for the Patriots. You don't just take a guy in the first round and not play him. And I think Mac Jones is ready to play some football, and we'll obviously see Week 1, two against Mac Jones, two Alabama quarterbacks. I think it'll be a fun matchup. But yeah, Jake, that's about all I got on that. I think again, it's going to be really interesting, and it adds another dynamic. Now that you have four quarterbacks in the AFC East under the age of 25.
Well, that's a different. We'll talk about that a different time because you got the Jets in there, man. You got the Dolphins in there. I mean, I can only see one being good, and it's Josh Allen. But we've talked about Joshy Boy before, so we won't. I won't head on him too hard. But I understand. I agree with most of your points, but I think Cam Newton will find a spot. I think someone's going to pick him up just because it's Cam Newton. I
Where do
think.
you where do you think, Jake?
Well, I said anywhere in the
What's your
NFC
gut?
East because Dak Prescott. I don't know how they're going to handle that whole situation. Like, I think I'd choose Dak over Cam, but I don't know how they're going to do it. I could see any crappy team really will probably try to pick him up. NFC East, like I said. I wouldn't be surprised if like stuff wasn't working out in Chicago, even with Justin Fields, because Justin Fields is pretty much Cam Newton if you look at like statistical wise. Like he's big, he's strong, he's fast. It's the exact same. He's got a nice big arm. Characteristically, it's the same quarterback. So you're gonna have to see how it goes.
I think Justin Fields is a little bit smaller than Cam Newton, but yeah,
Yeah,
I really
Justin
like
Fields,
that.
I think, is 6'3", and Cam's like 6'5"
I
range.
I do
I
like
think
that
Justin Field
comparison, Jake.
I like Justin Fields as a leader already, though, just from what I've seen and heard.
Yeah,
I like Justin
yeah.
Fields more as a player too so far. He seems to be smarter and won't take the big hit, and I think he's starting to pass the ball up better with the Bears' crappy offense, with the Bears' crappy receivers, with the Bears' crappy offensive line. So, hey, man,
Aaron Donald,
if you
week
can
one,
be good,
Jake.
Chicago, you're doing something right. But hey, man, this is a perfect opportunity to ask this to get this segment in here. Who is your sleepers, Dunkel? Now that the final moves are going to be made, the 53-man rosters are being made. We're everyone's getting trickled down. They're on the whiteboards right now. Who's your sleeper? You got one. You got one sleeper of the whole NFL, overhyped or underhyped. Underrated. Who's your sleeper that everyone's like snoozing on, Dunkel? Who is it? I got mine. As soon as I said those words, I already know mine.
It's the Washington football
Oh,
team.
shut up. Oh, God.
You ready? You ready for why?
It's going to be about, yeah, just go for it.
Because that man, I think he's number 99
Yeah, yeah,
on
yeah.
that defensive front. That boy, young Chase Young, man, Jonathan Allen, De'Aaron Payne, Montez Sweat. Those boys coming after the quarterback. I think now when you talk about the addition of Curtis Samuel, you talk about another year of Antonio Gibson, you talk about another year for Scary Terry to keep developing. I think that this team has potential to for sure win the NFC East. I think maybe win a playoff game as well. I think Washington's just a team to look out for. I think when you talk about them as well, you talk about an underrated offensive line. Um, you talk about one of the top probably three defenses in football, and I love their coach Ron Rivera. So I think they're well coached. They play good defense. They have an up and coming offensive line. The one question with them is going to be Ryan Fitzmagic, and I think he's going to provide just enough magic to get that team into the playoffs at probably 10-7 and win the NFC East, and I think they could win a playoff game. Jake, I will say a long shot sleeper here um, could be the Cincinnati Bengals
Oh, I
as
had to
like a
realize.
team that will do better than expected. Like I don't think the Bengals will make the playoffs, but
Okay.
like I think they could be like 8-9, something like that. They could
I
be a
mean,
long shot sleeper. But Jake, who's your sleeper team, buddy? I got Washington. I got the Washington football team. Who do you got, buddy?
hey, man, I'm gonna keep it. You mentioned they're in the division of the Bengals, baby. I got the Browns, man. The Browns, dude. People are hating on the Browns. I don't understand it. All they did was add. They never subtracted to what they had during their postseason success, their end of the year success. Baker Mayfield was starting to play his best football. He's starting to understand it. I mean, he was changing quarterbacks like it was a or not quarterbacks, coaches like it was a carousel. That's awful. You can't do that to a young quarterback. You can't do that to a quarterback at all. A winning franchise never mattered like that. So what you got to have is a coach, a QB. That's success, baby. And they got a scary defense, man. You talking about? I think this might be a top 3 defense, man, because they got upfront presence. They breathing at you. That's gross. You know what I mean? And if you somehow get rid of the ball before they get you with Jadavion, and then you got the Hulk himself down there with them, man, Garrett's a scary man, dude. Garrett's a scary. You see the pictures of him? Make me feel a type of way. Psych. Pause. But what I'm saying is that secondary, man. That secondary is even more lethal. I wouldn't want to get hit by them. And that's just the defense. On offense, you got pretty boy Odell Beckham on one side, you got Landry on the other, you got the two-headed monster running back core. Offensive line's pretty nice. It's nice with it. They're pretty big boys. I think they call themselves the pigs up front. If I'm mistaken, maybe I am. And then you got Baker playing good football, and kickers and punters are people too. Don't dismiss. Don't dismiss. So they got decent ones. So I think people are sleeping. I think this is going to be an AFC championship game contender. I never said they won it. I just said they're going to be in it. I think it might be the Chiefs versus the Browns. I don't know. I don't know,
Jake,
but I'm
Jake,
going on the Browns, baby. The Browns are people too.
Jake, I agree. I agree. I think the Browns are
You
going
want my
to be.
long shot one? You want my long
Yeah,
shot?
yeah. Let's hear the long shot.
The Cowboys, baby. Dak Prescott coming back from injury. You got Cooper on the outside. Ezekiel Elliott's looking slimmer than ever. He stopped eating the freaking cake and cookies. That's every man's weakness. He's got that six pack. Maybe the former cheesehead freaking coach can get his act together and he can get the boys together. McCarthy. But what I'm saying is maybe the defense can get back to what it maybe used to be. I'm just saying, man. Maybe the Cowgirls can maybe they can pull off an NFC East miracle and then maybe win a game or two in the playoffs. But I do like the Washington football team. You do have a good point. That defense is scary up front, real scary. You saw it against the Buccaneers last year in the playoffs. That was scary. Heineke, Cinderella baby, just do you. That's all I gotta say. Case closed. I'm done talking.
So Jake, I like your Browns pick. I have the Browns winning the AFC North. I think Baker Mayfield's going to hit another level this year. And honestly, I think when you talk about the Browns, I mean, you do talk about how they're in a tough division with Pittsburgh and Cincinnati and Baltimore.
Yeah.
I think I think one of the things that I look at with Cleveland too is like that, like you said, Jake, they just added. They didn't really subtract a whole lot. And also, I think one of the concerns for me in that division is with Baltimore, J.K. Dobbins going down. I think is a huge loss, and I think people are kind of underestimating that. I'm not saying Gus is bad. Gus Edwards, get the Gus bus rolling, as Ravens fans would say. But I think J.K. Dobbins, man, super underrated injury. I think not a lot of people are talking about it enough, and I think it won't hurt the Browns. Who's that?
Myles Garrett, bro. The dude's different. I just want everyone to know that.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't even mention Jake Austin Hooper.
I didn't mention him.
You didn't mention the wonderful middle linebacker selection in the second or third round with JOK. Riley Burbach, our guy, one of his favorite players in the class. So I think when you talk about the Browns, you talk about a team that I think is going to be an AFC Championship contender as well. I think they'll play the Chiefs as well, Jake. 100% agree with you, and I think they'll win that division, probably with a record of 13-4.
Shout out to the new rules. But thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That was our episode tonight. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you leave a like, comment down below. If you want to see more of this, if you want to see some people on here, make sure you come in Mondays, though. We don't know. I don't know yet how it's going to be. It might be a live stream, might be a video with the boys from the Carthage
It'll be
Firebirds.
It'll be a live stream.
It'll be a live stream. Oh, you got to be on your best behavior now, folks. But I don't know if it's, I don't know who's going to be on next week, but it's going to be a good live stream. We got Coach Haas, obviously. The dude's energetic. I love it. I am myself, obviously, so that should be a good combo. But if you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, share to your friends, share to your family, make someone's day. Make a moment matter, man. Every moment matters. We love you all. Take care. Peace out. Love.